An idea that's become probably one of the most talked about ideas today in the property market. And he's going to be talking to you about how you can think and grow rich in the property market yourselves. With rent to own, and as you just saw there, how to buy a house for £1. It sounds kind of interesting. Who'd like to buy a house for £1? Just one? 10, yeah? Alright. Well, stay curious, stay excited, and please welcome to the stage the next speaker, Dave Lee, please. Thank you much.
Who would like to buy a house for £1? You know, I thought I'd get the best in the business to come and speak to you today. I thought I'd call in Rick Otten and I'd get the afternoon off. Well, this man over here, Steve Foley, didn't give me the afternoon off. Maybe some of you know I've just been to Cuba, had a great time. Isn't that what we'd all like to be doing? Yeah. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to be able to do things like that. I'll be Australian if you want me to be. But one of the questions, and some of the questions I get quite often asked is, yeah, it's okay for you, David. It's okay for you. Yes, but we're different. How do I do this? How do I start it? It's not the same. You don't understand. Do you understand what I mean? Have you ever been a beginner? Or are you a beginner already? Anybody here who's an absolute beginner in wealth creation? Anybody? Is there anybody here that's ever been a beginner, an absolute beginner? Everybody put your hand up if you're in those categories, because I'm no different to any one of you. I'm no better, I'm no more intelligent probably, but all I did was follow some systems that allowed me to speak to you here today, because believe it or not, and I'm going to show you, this is not me. Do you want to see who me is? No different to anybody. What year is it today? 2009? And I'm here speaking to you now. Let's roll back the clock. Can we get some lights down, please? Because I really want people to see this. Now, in our former lives, which probably a few of us have got a former life, we could do anything, couldn't we? We could have been an architect, a designer, or anything. We could have even been an actor. I was asked in Cuba, are you an actor? What do you think the answer was? Of course I'm an actor. If you want me to be, I will be. Does anybody see the resemblance? Well, you know what happens to actors, especially the B-grade kind, they have to change their profession. So maybe I've had to change my past. If that was my past, well, it may have been. Or maybe it was something different, because the year is 1999. Has anybody seen this? Is anybody familiar with this? I'm very familiar with it. Coming from Australia with £50 in my pocket, this is what I got to know and understand and do every single day. Look at all the happy people. But this is the norm. This is the world we live in. Have a look at this guy. Take a look at this. I was earning £10,000 a month. This was the peak of my employment career. Who'd like to be earning, as an employee, 120 grand a year? Would that be good? Pretty cool? It was the most miserable time of my life. Do you want to know why? Guess what I was creating in my life? Absolutely nothing. I was just using up people's money to fulfill egos. Does that sound familiar? What I was doing was really, I started there, they had a big project. I'm a systems analyst. Oh, by the way, if I didn't mention it, that's all I was. I'm a guy that put puzzles together. A guy that just started doing that, working for a living. I'd never been to a wealth creation seminar. I didn't know what it was. I just worked to make money, to look after my family. That's all I knew. So this is a total world away from 10 years ago. What I was doing was fulfilling people's egos. what I was doing was actually going into an organisation and saying to these people from the very outset, in fact after 3 weeks, your foundations of your system are totally up the creek. They will never ever work. I had a guy next to me, the guy that was working with me. He said, David, don't do that, don't say that. I've got my wife and kids, I've got to work, I've got to put money on food in the house, money coming home. Do you know whose problem that was the day I walked into that organisation? It was their problem. But guess what would have happened a few months down the track? Whose problem would it have been? Absolutely. I would have taken ownership. So what I did was tell them within a very short time, your foundations will never ever work. This is flawed. Just get rid of it. They wouldn't do it. They spent another £600,000 to prove me right.